Welcome back to Living Inspired with Autism. My name is Antoinette, and I am an autumn parent-focused life coach. And I'm also mom to my own autistic son, Max. This is a space for parents who are raising extraordinary children while also learning how to become emotionally stronger, more grounded, and more alive in their own lives. And of course, this is where I come in. All right, so this will be the second time I am recording this podcast because the first recording just vanished into thin air. So here we go again. Today, we are going to be continuing our emotional skills series. Now, number 1 was about recognizing what you're feeling. Number 2 was about really getting into those feelings and actually feeling them in your body. Number 3, we spoke about not using emotions against ourselves by indulging in them. And today we are speaking about something that determines whether we grow or stay stuck, whether we go after what we want, or whether we hide or really fully live. We are talking about your willingness to feel discomfort. Now, most people think that they are afraid of failure, rejection, uncertainty, judgment, and disappointment, but they are not. What they're actually afraid of is the feelings that those things create. So you're not really scared of failing. You're scared of feeling embarrassed because you failed, humiliated because you failed, disappointed because you failed, ashamed because you failed. You're not afraid to ask for help. You're afraid of feeling the vulnerability of asking for help. You're not afraid of hoping for more for your kiddo. You're afraid of feeling devastated if it doesn't happen. Now, this is especially true for autism parents because at some point, many of us surreptitiously decide it is safer not to hope too much because hope can feel really dangerous. You get told often, don't get your hopes up, be realistic, prepare yourself. And then you begin protecting yourself from disappointment by shrinking your dreams, by not doing the things that you want to do. But there is a cost to this. When you stop allowing yourself to feel the discomfort, you also stop living fully. You stop dreaming, you stop trying, you stop risking, you stop hoping, you stop expanding. You begin surviving emotionally instead of living emotionally. And this makes a lot of sense. Of course it does. If you've experienced heartbreak, and we all have, or fear or uncertainty, your brain naturally wants to protect you because that is what brains do. It seeks pleasure, it avoids pain, and it conserves energy. But the problem is your brain doesn't know the difference between actual danger and emotional discomfort. So it treats this discomfort like a threat. This is one of the key pillars that I teach in my program, the Autism Parent-Focused Blueprint. So what does this look like in real life? Maybe you don't ask questions because you don't want to feel stupid. Maybe you don't pursue something for yourself because you think you might fail. Maybe you don't advocate strongly because you fear that conflict it will bring up. Maybe you don't let yourself believe something amazing could happen for your kiddo because disappointment just feels so unbearable. So instead, you stay emotionally safe. But emotionally safe often means emotionally small. One of the concepts that changed my life completely was understanding this. We spend our lives trying to avoid discomfort. We end up creating very small lives. We know we are capable, but we still play small. I remember before I had Max, this was definitely me, playing small all of the time. I didn't ask for what I wanted. I was scared of disappointing others, like people pleasing, and I was worried about what other people thought of me. So I was functioning to a degree, I was managing, I was getting through, but I wasn't expanding. And if I'm honest, part of it was because I didn't like the feelings that came with expanding. The fear of being seen, the fear of conflict, the fear of having an opinion and standing by it, the fear of failure. So I made myself smaller emotionally. And I think many parents do this. I was like this before Max came along, but I promised myself that I would stand up for him no matter what. And by doing that, I actually started standing up for myself as well. And standing up for yourself and living emotionally large takes courage. And courage isn't about confidence or fearlessness or having it all together. Courage is simply being willing to feel the discomfort. That's it. Courage also in the moment does not feel good. It's really hard. But if you are open to it, there's nothing that you can't do. People who create extraordinary lives are not the people who avoid discomfort. They are the people who are willing to feel rejection, to feel uncertainty, to feel failure, to feel vulnerability, to feel fear, and keep moving forward anyway. And sometimes discomfort looks like advocating for your child, thereby opening the conflict, or setting boundaries, thereby pissing other people off, or trying something new, and there's the fear of failure, or letting people misunderstand you, or allowing for people to be wrong about you, saying no, saying yes, allowing yourself to hope. Now, let's talk a little bit about hope, because I know many parents just stop hoping because they're trying to protect themselves. And I really understand that very deeply. But here's what I want to offer you. Hope is also uncomfortable, but hopelessness is just so much worse. What if disappointment is not something that you need to avoid? What if it's just an emotion that you are capable of surviving? Because you already have so many times over. When you know that you can handle the discomfort, you stop living in fear of that emotion. And suddenly, you're the person who takes more chances, who speaks up more, who dreams bigger, who becomes more yourself. And this is one of the most powerful shifts that I help my clients create in one-on-one coaching, because often the thing keeping you stuck is not your circumstances, it's not autism, it's fear of how you might feel. Fear of failure and judgment and conflict and disappointment, etc., etc. And in our sessions together, we unpack that. We help you build emotional capacity. And it's not about being positive all the time. It's becoming someone who knows that they can feel the hard things and still move forward. If you're feeling a little stuck or small or fearful or emotionally exhausted, a once-off coaching session can help you reconnect with your strength. Okay, so how do we build the willingness for discomfort? Step number 1, stop seeing discomfort as a danger. Discomfort is not an emergency. It's just part of growth. Step 2, normalize that emotional pain. Being human includes all those uncomfortable emotions. Rejection, sadness, fear, uncertainty, all of it. Nothing has gone wrong. Step 3, ask yourself, what am I avoiding feeling? This question is actually really powerful because underneath procrastination and avoidance and people-pleasing is usually an emotion that you don't want to feel. Step number 4, practice tiny moments of discomfort. Not diving head first into it, but just small little things. Have the conversation that you're unwilling to have. Ask the question that you're too shy or too scared to ask. Set the boundary. Tell your mother she can't come and visit. Let yourself hope. These tiny little reps build emotional strength. So see emotional resilience almost like a muscle that you're building. You don't become strong by avoiding resistance or lifting the weight. You become strong by moving through it. You become strong by picking up the weights. 1 rep at a time. You start with small weights and you gradually increase the weights. You gradually push your boundaries of discomfort. And remember, your brain is going to give you resistance. Now, what I do when I get resistance, I always say to my brain, noted, thank you for your opinion, but we are going to be doing this instead. Every life includes discomfort. Every single one of us. So the question is, would you rather feel discomfort while you're hiding or playing small, or while you are becoming and expanding? Raising a kiddo with additional needs already requires enormous emotional capacity. You are already doing hard things every single day. And I think sometimes you forget how strong you actually are. But you can do this unintentionally, which feels like crap, or you can decide to do it intentionally, which feels so much more powerful. The goal isn't to eliminate the discomfort. The goal is to stop fearing it so much. So much so that you don't take care of yourself or your dreams or your life. So today, I want you to ask yourself, what would I do if I wasn't afraid of how it might feel? And maybe that's exactly where your next step is waiting for you. All right, so in the next episode, we are going to be talking about the final emotional skill, which is creating emotions on purpose. And this one is incredibly empowering. All right, my friends, if this episode resonated with you, please share it with another parent who may need this. And if you are ready to build emotional resilience in a deeper, more personal way, I would love to support you. You are capable of feeling hard things and still create a beautiful life. All right, my friends, I will see you next week. Bye.